So yeah, my name's Daniel. My topic of discussion today is going to be about if it's important to you, you'll find a way, and if not, you'll find an excuse. But before I go into that, I want to talk about what's influenced me within film and life, and also the challenges I've had to overcome and face. So I grew up in a council estate with my family. I was with my big brother playing wrestling. My little brother would be playing football. So plates were being smashed, lights were getting broken. But I wouldn't trade any of those experiences for nothing else. I went on to college, I studied film and media, and within those 2 years, I had to create a short film and a music video. And it all started from there. I got awards for those productions. And from there, I said, I'm going to go on to university and go study TV production or journalism. So I went into university, then I studied broadcast journalism. And within my third year, I had to make a documentary, and I made it on Is Fast Food Killing Britain's Youth? This topic came from my personal experience because I was eating a lot of junk food when I was in university. And I managed to get a press release, and the actual production was singled out by an external examiner, which was amazing. And when I saw a press release, I was just like, this is static. I was just crazy. So I didn't stop there. I said, I'm going to make another documentary. And right now I'm filming a documentary on Can We Eat Healthier for Less? So that's a sequel to what I've just filmed. And I'm still filming that at the moment. And obviously I've started an initiative called Talk to Dan, which helps young people break into media through motivational events. Within life, who's really influenced me, my mum has been a big influencer. She always had a crazy work ethic. And yeah, I'd always just look up to my mum, always wanted to have those sort of assets she had. She was going to uni, looking after all four of us, four big lads like us. It's not easy. Unfortunately, my mum passed away a couple of years ago. It's coming up to 3 years now, but just a month after I graduated, she passed away. So I'm happy for her to see me graduate. That was one of the best things. But what I'm trying to say here is that if you're going through anything in life, if you've lost someone, if you're going through mental health, just talk to someone about it. That first year was very difficult for me. It was very tough, but I got through it. Talking to friends, my brothers, just anyone. It could be a lecturer, a teacher. Within film, who's really influenced me, so directors such as Michael Moore, he's a controversial documentary filmmaker. He really makes quite wacky documentaries. Martin Scorsese, he's an amazing film director. He really makes films that is able to impact lives and society in general. Alfred Hitchcock, he really makes films that create suspense. He was also known as the master of suspense. So I always looked at his films like Rear Window, if any of you heard of it. And then what really got me into film was the Harry Potter sequels. I'm a big fan of Harry Potter. You cannot be a big fan of Harry Potter. You have to love Harry Potter. But what it was, I was watching Harry Potter films, and then what I'd do, I'd get a notebook, and I'd be at home, and I'd be writing down notes, how certain things were filmed, and just looking at special effects. I'd actually be writing down notes while watching this film and just educating myself, teaching myself. In terms of challenges and things I've had to overcome, so I've had work experience, of course, at Channel 4, Sky, ITV, all these household names, and also independent companies. But I've had to overcome rejection. I was very impatient when I first started out in media. I always wanted things to come to me rather than me go to it, if that makes sense. And yeah, I got rejected from lots of companies. I applied for BBC and I got rejected about 2-3 times. It really put me down. But then I kind of looked at it and I said, I remember why I started. I started with a passion. I was in front of the TV watching Harry Potter. I was writing down those notes. It's not going to stop here. I'm going to achieve my dream. I'm going to go forth and keep going forward. So if you're going for anything, just remember why you always started. And looking into the main topic of what I'm going to talk about today, if it's important to you, you'll find a way. If not, you'll find an excuse. So the first point I want to touch upon is talking yourself out of things. We all talk ourselves out of things. And the reason why we do it because we're scared of fear. We're scared, and we don't want to step out of our comfort zone. I talked myself out of applying for so many different opportunities. The big names, such as I've worked for Channel 4, ITV, and Sky. I talked myself out of applying for these places, but then I just closed my eyes and I said, I have to have a positive mindset. I can't be negative. I have to think of all the great things that's going to happen. And then I had to, if anyone's heard of POV, so power of visualization, I had to visualize myself at these companies. I had to visualize myself at Channel 4, at Sky, at ITV. I had to visualize it. I had to dream about it. And that's what's got me into these companies. I had to keep going forth and never give up. Obviously it's easier said than done, but I had to just keep going forward. I was having sleepless nights, so I don't know if anyone in here personally develops themselves. Coming and talking in front of everyone right here is scary. It's no one likes public speaking, but I have to personally develop myself. I'm in my room every single day in front of a camera, just talking about anything, just to get more natural with a camera. And I'm also, better in my craft and also better in my editing skills, my directing skills. You have to personally develop yourself if you want to build and be better at your career. You have to do it. Personally develop yourself is so important. I can't explain how important it is. Having a contacts book. I was speaking to Laura about this the other day, actually. I've created a contacts book. It's literally just a notebook. You get it from Poundland, or you get it from your old drawer. Just put down every single person you've met in that contacts book, where you met them, how you met them, correspondence. Everything is important, because you can have your phone, of course, but you might break your phone, you might lose your phone. It just separates personal to professional contacts. Have a contacts book. It's helped me so much. Everyone's in here for a reason. You came to this event because you have an objective. Your objective might be you want to speak to one of the speakers because you want to get experience. Be confident and approach them. Hi, my name's Daniel. I do film. What do you do? That's how you can start a conversation. It can be anything. You can even ask them, what did you have for last night for dinner? Just anything random. Maximizing your online presence is really important. Ask yourself, what's the last thing you've done? Are you consistent? What's the last thing you worked on? If you worked on something about a year ago, unfortunately, no one cares about that. People care about what's going on now. What are you doing now? What are you doing to better yourself? If someone asks me, what am I doing? I'm making a documentary. I'm going to going to colleges, universities, and motivating young people. So I'm doing something. I'm being consistent. Also, the most important thing as well is LinkedIn. Make sure your LinkedIn's up to date. Make sure LinkedIn's up to scratch. A couple of years ago, I basically, I was able to get a message from someone on LinkedIn, coming straight to the point, are you interested in the production coordinator role? So your LinkedIn can act as an application form. Create your own work experience. So I've been filming my cousin's events, and through that, I managed to gain contacts gain a contact through that event to get onto more work. Just to end it, we can all do what we want, but we all want to do what we love. Once you find your passion, you'll never feel as if you're working a day in your life. I don't feel like I'm working anymore. This is passion. I'm passionate about this, I've done something recently at Piccadilly Circus and Waterloo Station. I don't know if you have it on the board, but I basically, so that's what I done. Now that's scary. Everyone's looking like, I want to go do that, stand on top of a busking area and do that. But this was scary. I had to overcome my fears. I said, you know what? In my mind, I was on the train going Piccadilly Circus and Waterloo Station. I said, you know what? I'm going to go and do this. But I stood there and I stopped. My mindset was telling me, no, I can't do this. I stood for 20 minutes and I couldn't do it. But then I said, remember why I started. I had an objective. There's a reason why I went to Piccadilly Circus to do this. And this is stepping out of your comfort zone, taking that extra leap of faith and actually thinking, yeah, I can do this. In a room full of dreamers, everyone likes to dream. Yeah, everyone should just close their eyes right now and dream where you want to be in the next year. Be obsessed with your dream. Achieve your dream. Take risks. Take lots of risks. Risk comes with reward, because the greatest hazard in life is risking nothing at all. Understand that if you can dream it, you can do it. If you can dream it, you can do it. I'm telling you. Everyone in here has talent. Everyone in here is special. Everyone has a purpose in life. You can do it. And tell yourself it's not over until you win. You have to say it with your chest. It's not over until you win. You have to believe it. I believe in myself so much. That's why I'm standing here today doing all those things. I visualized it. So if anything I've said to you is important, you'll find a way, and if not, you'll find an excuse. Thank you for listening.